Welcome to episode 157 of Shadows and Pretties. And this is the Queen of Lions here, my pretties. And today I'm going to be reviewing a different movie. And it's pretty much a sequel to Dawn of the Dead from 1978. And this movie we're going to review today is called Day of the Dead. Now, this is another movie directed and written by George A. Romero. This is one of the classic zombie movies. Today, I'm going to be reviewing this movie right here called Day of the Dead. This one came out in 1985. There is a remake of this there's a remake of this movie called Day of the Dead from 2008, but that one, I definitely have to say now, I'm not a fan of the remake, and I will state my reasons why, and maybe just go through with that movie too to see if you could spot any differences. So, anyways, I'm gonna be beginning to start off with this. So, a zombie apocalypse has entered the world, with zombies outnumbering the humans from 400,000 to a 1. The surviving humans live in barricade camps and secure underground bunkers. An underground facility in Everglades, housing scientists and soldiers. The scientists have been trying to find a solution to the zombie pandemic. However, the soldiers have been assigned to protect them. Dr. Sarah Bowman, her lover and soldier, Private Miguel Salazar, radio operator Bill McDermott, and the helicopter pilot John fly from their underground base to Fort Myers in Florida in hopes to locate additional survivors. They only find a large horde of the undead, but they return to their base, where they were told that the military detachment's officer in charge, Major Cooper, has died. Sarah becomes concerned over Miguel's worsening mental state, while meanwhile Dr. Logan, the lead scientist, which the soldiers nicknamed for Frankenstein, because of his grisly surgical dissections of zombies, believes that the zombies can be docile by training and conditioning. He keeps a collection of captive zombies to use as test subjects in a large underground corral of the compound. The angry and reactionary Captain Rhodes, and the soldiers that lead to them object to dangers, involve capturing zombies and keeping them inside the compound. While the tension between soldiers and scientists worsens, on the face of dwindling supplies, lost communication with survivors, and slow and uncertain progress in research. Now, during the meeting between the scientists and the soldiers, Rhodes declare that following the death of Major Cooper, he is taking command of the base. He only grants the scientists some time to improve their results, and declares that he'll execute anyone who interferes with his leadership. He also threatens to abandon the scientists and leave the compound by cutting off their protection from the zombies. Shaken by Rhodes' threats, Sarah goes into the quarters shared by John and Bill, who discuss the situation. John professes his own conviction that the zombie plague is a form of divine punishment against mankind. That significant mission is doomed for failure, and that the efforts record of salvation is pointless. He suggests all three of them take a helicopter, abandon the soldiers, and fly to a desert island somewhere where they can live off the land and start a family and be away from the zombies. While Dr. Logan hopes to secure Rhodes' goodwill by showing him the results of his research, Logan is especially proud of Bub, a friendly, non-aggressive zombie who remembers some parts of his past life and engages in human behavior, such as listening to music, aiming a pistol, saluting Captain Rogues, and repeating the string of garbled words. Now, the next one is Similarity Must Be Rewarded. Logan tells Rogues that if it's not rewarded, there's no use for it. However, Rhodes is not impressed by it. During the zombie roundup mission later on in the movie, zombie escapes its harness when Miguel lost his focus, which results in deaths of two soldiers, Miller and Johnson. Miguel attempts to kill the creature, but a zombie bites him on the arm, and then he screams in terror as he flees, but Sarah goes after him. With John and Bill's help, Sarah amputates Miguel's arm and carefully culturizes it with fire to stop the spreading of the infection from killing him and coming back to life as a zombie. Rose then calls off the experiment and demands that all captive zombies must be destroyed, as well as severing any further help from him from his remaining men. However, Sarah and Bill later discover that Logan has been experimenting on the remains of dead soldiers in the audio recording of him rambling to himself through some wires plugged into Johnson's severed head. Fearing that Logan has gone insane with the conditions worsening, Bill decides that they should leave in a helicopter immediately. Rose then finds out that Logan has been feeding the flesh off of his dead soldiers to Bub as a reward for his docility and positive behavior. Enraged, Rose kills Logan and seizes the remaining scientists and non-military personnel. Stripping them off of their weapons, Rhodes brings them as his prisoners and attempts to force John to fly them and to his remaining soldiers away from the base, which John refuses to do. In response, Rhodes kills Logan's assistant Fisher, locks Sarah and Bill inside the zombie corral with the zombies, in order to steal to beat John into submission. However, back at Dr. Logan's laboratory, Bub manages to escape his change and finds Dr. Logan's corpse. In dismay of human emotion, he mourns the loss of his instructor, then picks up a pistol, goes off to search and revenge. Meanwhile, Miguel heads off unnoticed outside the fence, where he opens the gate to allow hundreds of zombies walk through. He then allows the zombies to begin tearing him apart. He presses in the release button, which lowers the steel loading gate, gives the zombies access to the base, while he's doing this, John overcomes his captors and steals the weapons, and goes into the zombie corral to rescue Sarah and Bill. As the zombies enter the complex, Rhodes leaves the men behind. Torres and Rickles are killed by the horde, while Steele is bitten and then takes his own life. Bub eventually finds Rhodes and fires at him, while Rhodes desperately tries to escape, but he runs into a huge mass of zombies, and that he gets shot by Bub again, and he basically ends up being eaten by zombies. Now, when I first watched this movie, I believe it was on VHS at one point. I don't remember, because I haven't watched this movie in like a long time, but I probably plan to watch this on YouTube, and I believe you could find the full movie of this on YouTube. I could be wrong, though. I haven't watched this movie in a really long time, so yeah. But I can also see that at the end of the movie, Sarah and Bill manage to get to the surface, flying a helicopter to a desert island, and that's basically how the movie ends. Now, surprisingly, though, when I was watching this movie, Lori Ricardo, Dr. Sarah Boatman, is the only female character, like female survivor in this movie. Now, to be completely honest, when I first saw this movie, I honestly thought this movie was, well made for what this is, as well as the good concept of this movie. Now, I actually thought this movie was actually really interesting. I mean, the cast is really good as well. I definitely have to say the cast does pretty good for what this movie really is for. I do like how well made that the concept of it was pretty interesting. Now, I could definitely say this is obviously one of the best George A. Romero movies. I know there's plenty of other George A. Romero ones out there, but this one's actually one of the best ones he's ever made, besides Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. I definitely gotta say, I really enjoyed this story, like this movie. I really thought this one was really well made in detail. It's pretty good for what this one is. So now, a lot of zombie films, they actually did pretty amazing, especially with how well made the concept for this was well done. Eventually, this film was released in DVD in 1998 and all that. It was released on Blu-ray and stuff like that. I do like the soundtrack for it. It's well made in detail. I like the soundtrack. It's got well made soundtracks and it's really well made in detail. Now, there is a prequel to this movie that was released in 2005 called Day of the Dead Head 2. Although it's only a definition, it's the official sequel. But I've never seen it, so I don't really know it, so I can't really say what it is about. Although there is a remake of Day of the Dead that came out in 2008. But yeah, only it's very little of the original plot exists, with a few basic elements remaining. Notably, the underground army base near the end of the movie and some of the characters' names. So I have to say, the remake of it was not that great. Although there is another remake of Day of the Dead that I believe came out in 2018, called Day of the Dead Bloodline, which I do plan to go ahead and have a look and see if that movie is any good. Although I'm hoping that the movie looks pretty good. I've not seen the 2018 remake, but I'll give it a shot if I can. Now, the remake of Day of the Dead is basically kind of like doesn't really follow much with the plot, and a lot of people really don't like it because they think it's like an insult of George A. Romero's movie, except this was directed by Steve Miner, and it was based on George A. Romero's Day of the Dead, except there are a lot of differences. The plot of this the remake, is pretty different. Such as Trevor Bowman and Nina met in an abandoned warehouse in Colorado, while military roadblocks sealed the city off as a 24-hour quarantine during the zombies. Now, the plot of this movie, though, it's really different. It's not really like the original Day of the Dead. It's just a completely different story for what this movie, the remake of it. The remake is a completely different story. It's not like following the same plot. Like, very loosely it follows the plot, but the plot of the remake is completely different compared to the original movie. I mean, for one thing, the original remake from 2008 didn't really exactly help make things better. I mean, the plot of it just basically is different. It's not like the same one like as the original movie went. I definitely would have to say the remake does need improvement. Now, the 2018 one called Day of the Dead Bloodline movie, I will make a separate video regarding that. Like, I'll make a separate Shadows and Pretties episode regarding that movie once I have the chance to see it, because that one came out in 2018 and I've only heard of it. I've not seen it yet, but I do plan to see the 2018 remake of it. And I have a feeling it's better than the 2008 remake of Day of the Dead, because the 2008 remake of it is just not that good. That's just mainly all I have to say. I like the original movie. I've always liked the original movie. If you like it, that's fine. I respect your opinion. If you don't like it, I respect your opinion too, because, we're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these movies, and this is just simply my own personal thoughts. So, I recommend checking out the original Day of the Dead. If you're a zombie fan, then I recommend you guys check this movie out. You will not be disappointed. It's a good movie. You guys will enjoy it if you're a zombie fan. Now, I'm going to say, if you don't like zombies and you don't like this movie, I respect your opinion entirely. Like, we're allowed to have our own opinions regards to these movies. This is just my own personal thoughts. But anyways, what do you guys think about this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Do you like the 2008 remake? Do you like the 1985 movie? Feel free to leave me what your thoughts are in the comments below. And what would you have done personally to help make the movie better? Any of these movies better? Now, the Bloodlines remake, I am not going to be doing the Shadows and Pretties episode on it unless I see it. Like, until I see it, I will review it then. But right now, I can't review it because I've not seen it yet. So, I don't really know it. But anyways, yeah. Feel free to leave me what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you're new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out.